This video is about the new units in Omniheroes Season 5. First, we have Aphrodite. We will spend more time on her because she is already out, so we have more information on her compared to other heroes. One way to look at her is that she's a much better version of Nerissa. They have a very similar passive effect. Every time a unit on the battlefield dies, they cast their ultimate. For Nerissa, she has a limit of a maximum of 3 ultimates per round, but Aphrodite doesn't have a limit, so she can also chain kill infinitely like Themis. Another difference is that Aphrodite's damage is way higher than Nerissa's. The downside is that her damage is only distributed among the backline enemies. However, since she casts her ultimate each time any unit dies, the fact that it only hits the backline enemy is barely a downside. What's important is whether she can guarantee to kill at least one enemy with her ultimate, because if she can kill one enemy, she will cast her ultimate again. In case you were wondering, when all backline enemies die, the frontline becomes the backline. So she won't waste her ultimate if all the backline enemies were dead. The same goes for the other way around. When all frontline enemies die, the backline becomes the frontline. And on top of all this, she will apply Phantom Illusion whenever she casts her ultimate. Phantom Illusion is basically the charm effect they talked about in the patch notes. It temporarily recruits an enemy to an open slot on your team. There are 5 things to note about the Phantom Illusion effect. 1. You can only charm one enemy at a time. 2. You can only charm the next enemy when your first charm effect expires or the charmed enemy has died. 3. If there's only one enemy left, you cannot charm them. 4. It can't be blocked by CC immunity, so Glorians cannot counter-charm. 5. There has to be an open slot on your team for the charm effect to work, but the 6th slot for the summon unit also counts. Moving on to Aphrodite's rune effect, when taking action, there's a chance to activate the Phantom Illusion effect, recruiting an enemy to the allied spot. Since Aphrodite casts her ultimate when any unit dies, and she charms when she ults, the condition for her to charm an enemy is already very easy. This makes her exclusive rune somewhat redundant, but she does benefit from having at least one set of unique celestial runes on your team because another part of her ultimate is that she can purify all debuffs on your whole team, and the effect of a unique celestial rune will prevent enemies from receiving buffs for 1 round. So what you could do is give her another Celestial Hero's unique exclusive rune when you use her. Aphrodite is good in the Avengers team. She's also a Monarch, so you could fit her into a Monarch team as well. I would say she is at Eudora's power level. If you were to summon in this Oath Recall, she is a great option. But if you are free to play, I advise saving your diamonds and scrolls for Cleopatra before all 3 new heroes, because it's likely that the new heroes this season will get added to the Oracle shop eventually.
Next we have Empress Woo. It is possible that she will be the next staple in main mission and similar PvE game modes, because she can let the charmed enemy take damage for your team, and since the enemies in these game modes usually have really high health and defense, theoretically you will have an unkillable team. But we'll have to wait until she's released to confirm this actually works. But what we are certain is that Empress Woo will be a really good PvP hero in Glorian team. She's the best compared to all the other options in Glorian. She grants your whole team 50% damage boost, and every time your unit takes damage, she has a 75% chance to reduce the damage by 75%. Since Glorian already has control immunity, Empress Woo's ability to reduce damage will make the Glorian team even more difficult to counter. The best thing is all of the above effects will be available only at 6 star, and if you are playing this season, you can get at least 1 copy of Empress Woo and 1 copy of Aphrodite for free. At 7 star, Empress Woo can devour all buffs from the enemy that's getting charmed, and for each buff she devours she can get 30% attack increase. At maximum she will increase her attack by 1000%. This means she will be a very strong damage dealer as well. Empress Woo's epic exclusive rune can increase the odds of her damage reduction, so if you have her epic exclusive rune, your team will have a 100% chance to reduce all incoming damage by 75%. At legendary level, she will also get chances to apply Phantom Illusion upon taking action. I'd say Empress Woo needs this more than Aphrodite, because her base version can only apply Phantom Illusion in the round when she casts ultimate, and she can't spam ultimate like Aphrodite. So she could use some extra ways to charm enemies.
Next we have the boys of this season. Okay, I said Hades is the worst new hero before, and he might still be the worst compared to Empress Woo and Aphrodite, but he's a great option in Valiantair. One thing I didn't realize is that the Soul Devour effect is actually removing the enemy from the battlefield temporarily. So basically, Hades can banish an enemy until Hades himself dies. That's a very good effect. But he only unlocked this Devour effect at 7 star. However, at 6 stars, he can provide 35% damage reduction to all your Valiantair units, as well as allowing them to execute enemies below 35% health. This increases the survivability of Valiantair team. Plus, he also shares the Protector synergy with Leandra. This could make them a good duo. Currently, Valiantairs has 4 good heroes: Atropos, Elmer, Nyx, and Leandra. Hades is the 5th hero they need. Hades will steal some stats from the devoured enemy, and after 4 rounds, he will permanently delete that unit. I think this part of his ability is overhyped. It's really not that good, because it's easier to kill all enemies within 4 rounds than actually surviving for 4 rounds, but I can see some scenarios where this Devour and Digest effect can help you win some drawn-out fight against Avengers or some Monarch teams. If you got the exclusive rune of Hades, you get to increase the stats he steals from the devoured enemy and accelerate his digestion process to 2 rounds. Last, and probably least, Lancelot is the Lightseeker hero of this season. While his ability is not as flashy as the royal heroes, his is quite strong for a non-royal units. Lancelot increases the corrode damage by 200%. That's double the amount of what Franz provides. Additionally, whenever he performs a basic attack, he can also apply 2 stacks of corrode to all enemies. That's really good as well. It is possible we could build a Protector Mystifier team with him and Mulan, since they both apply corrode when performing basic attacks, and the Protector synergy allows them to spam basic attacks. The team I'm thinking of is Mulan, Lancelot, Bastet, Katrina, and Ryukong. If you are new players, Lancelot can be part of your Monarch Mystifier team in place of Catherine, if you don't have Catherine yet, so you will have Lancelot, Dullahan, Talos, Astrid, and another Monarch. The key is to have at least 4 Monarchs and 4 Mystifiers. Also, Lancelot's exclusive rune allow him to also apply Phantom Illusion, although the chances is a bit lower compared to Aphrodite and Empress Woo. But it's more impactful since Lancelot doesn't have the ability to charm enemies in his base version. Also, getting his exclusive rune is cheaper, because he is not a royal hero.